Hey, Big T family, it's Tony, and I'm back with another video today. It is Motivational Monday, April 10th, 2023. I hope you had an amazing Easter weekend. Mine was up and down, but I guess I could say it was mostly good. We had a beautiful day yesterday. It was like 63 degrees, but out in the sun, it felt like 75. Like, it was gorgeous, and the girls wanted to play outside all day, and it was great. And if you could tell by my face, I got some sun. And it was actually great because people noticed that I was out there playing with the girls for the first time in years. Usually I'm just sitting there and watching them play, but I was actually out there and walking around, and we went to the bonfire, and I was able to carry my own chair out there, which before I'd have somebody else carry my chair out there. And so I was just very active, and people really noticed that. And even now, like, I saw them 2 weeks ago, and they told me yesterday or Saturday when we went up to my family's house that, oh wow, you look like you still lost a lot of weight. So that's really what they tell me. And they're not the people who would BS me, right? They're not going to tell me I lost weight if I didn't really lose weight. And so it's just good to know that it's noticeable every time that I go see them, even though the scale doesn't always move how I want it to move. It's always noticeable when I go to church and I haven't seen people in a week. They're like, wow, Tony, you're looking great. Um, so I guess that's what matters the most, right? Is if people notice the fat coming off your body, I'm getting stronger, I'm more active, and they see all of that, and it's just amazing. So today I'm gonna do a Motivational Monday video, and I know I was talking last week about how today's video I was gonna try to do a day in my life type thing and show you guys how I work out, what I eat, stuff like that. But I kind of realized over the weekend that it's going to be something that's going to take me a day to film because I want to go about my day just showing you a normal day. What I do in the morning, what I do when I first get up, that type of thing. How do I work out? When do I work out? What do I eat? Stuff like that. So because last weekend was not a normal weekend, I was gone the whole time. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do a regular Motivational Monday video reaction today. And then maybe next weekend, probably a Saturday, because Sunday, again, is not a normal type day because we do have food at church every week. So I'm thinking maybe next Saturday or this coming Saturday, I will film that video, a day in my life is like, and that will air on Motivational Monday. So, but today's video is another truly, I used to weigh 375 pounds. Now I'm half the size, brand new me video. This time it's a lady named Clarabelle. I think that's how you say her name. She's from New Zealand, and she dealt with all sorts of eating disorders, binge eating disorder, and stuff like that growing up her whole life. She got to 375 pounds, but she also got the sleeve surgery, it looks like. And she was able to lose half of her body weight, which is something that I'm hoping to do here. I'm very close to losing that 200 pounds since I started this whole journey. So that's going to be another great video when I can say, wow, I've actually hit that mark on the scale. I've lost 200 pounds total. But we're going to get into this video right now.
At my heaviest, I weighed 375 pounds. I was diagnosed with binge eating disorder.
I literally just want to eat.
People think, oh, why don't you just stop? Why don't you eat healthier? It's not as simple as that because it had that control over me.
Wow, she's looking great compared to what she was looking like at her heaviest. At her heaviest, she just looked miserable. You could see it on her face. She was not happy. She was she she looked kind of sickly, just honestly. But seeing how she looks now, just a total night and day difference. But that's the thing with binge eating disorder that a lot of people don't realize, and they say, well, just go on a diet and you'll do great and you'll lose the weight. And it is not that simple. Because when you have binge eating disorder, it's like you just can't help it. There's this insatiable desire to eat and binge on food, especially when you try to diet and you change your diet from, let's say you're eating, a 5,000 calorie per day, and then suddenly you're like, okay, well, tomorrow or today's Monday, I'm going to do good and everything's going to be great, and I'm going to jump into my diet today, and I'm going to cut my calories down to 1,200 or 1,800 or whatever it is. No, your body freaks out. Your body wants the food. And so it's the hormones that start in your belly, the ghrelin and stuff like that, they're going to shoot up to your brain and tell you, hey, brain, we did not get the food that we're used to eating. So let's tell your person there, hey, you need to eat, right? And that's how it works. And so you got all these hormones. There are hundreds of hunger hormones within your body that regulate your appetite. And so that's why it's so difficult to lose weight, is because when you try to lose weight and your body starts shedding some of those pounds, it's really easy at first, but then your body just naturally tries to stop that. It's a survival mechanism that goes back to the days when food was not as readily available as it is today, right? So that's just how it works.
I'm so overweight. No one understands. And this is why I have come to the point of wanting the surgery.
I knew that the only way I was going to be able to lose weight was the gastric sleeve surgery, because I was just going to eat myself to death. I now weigh 180 pounds. My self-love and everything has come so far. I know my worth now.
I'm not saying that you can't lose weight on your own without bariatric surgery. If you're able to do it, that's amazing. Then I highly recommend that you find the right program for you and do it. But there are some people who, let's say they do have binge eating disorder, and they just, no matter how hard they try, mentally cannot get past that barrier. So they have an eating disorder, they've had it their whole lives, and they try and they fail, try and they fail, and it's like a last-ditch effort for them. That if you really need something, a tool to help control your appetite, then I would recommend getting something like the sleeve surgery, because it does cut your stomach down to like 10% of what it is. And a lot of the parts of the stomach that they took out is where that ghrelin and other hunger hormones are formed. And so you don't have those as much hunger hormone to shoot to your brain to tell you you're hungry. And also, if you do eat just a little bit of full food, you're satiated much sooner. So when there are moments, and yeah, there are moments when I want to binge. There are moments when I want comfort food. There are moments when I want to just go crazy. But it stops me from doing so, right? Like, yeah, you can stretch your stomach out if you just constantly binge, 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 binge. But something that I've been learning, like if I really, really want some food, all it takes is just a little bit of food to fill that desire within me, right? I might not get the food that I want, like a pizza or something like that, but if I just eat a little bit of food, just a little bit, I'm not going to be hungry anymore. It's going to fill me up. I'm going to almost feel sick even. I'm not eating to the point of being sick. I'm just letting you know that if you get sleeve surgery and your body starts telling you, all right, you're full, stop, put on the brakes, and you continue to eat, like, you will feel sick, you will get nauseous, you will feel like throwing up, and if you continue eating, even then, you will throw it up. That's just the way your body's going to operate after sleeve surgery. I have not thrown up at all since my surgery. Some people do early in the beginning, but I've not thankfully thrown up. But there were a few times where I thought that I was, because I did eat just a little too much. But now I sort of gotten to that point where I'm used to knowing how much I can eat and knowing when not to push past a certain barrier. Like as soon as I start getting that full feeling, I stop.
When I look at this, I can remember exactly how I was feeling in each photo. It was just emptiness and feeling completely worthless and no self-love at all. And you can see in my eyes how I had given up. My experience with eating disorders, I've been at both ends of the spectrum. I've had binge eating disorder my whole life, but I also had bulimia in 2014. With binge eating disorder, you consume a large amount of food and that's how you gain all the weight, whereas with bulimia you still have the binge mode but you purge after.
It's hard to look back now and to see where you were, and the helplessness and desperation is just horrendous.
Going into high school, there was a group of boys that used to call me Bigfoot and Beached Whale, so that contributed to how I dealt with my emotions. I would consume a large amount of food.
Yeah, people can be very cruel. And I was sort of feeling it over the weekend, just like this sense of hopelessness and loneliness. And like, wow, people just aren't going to love me because I'm still big. Like, they don't see my journey. They don't see that I've lost almost 200 pounds. They don't see what I've been fighting for and my spirit and my character. Like, a lot of you guys who watch my videos, that comes out and you guys notice it. So I'm very thankful that you guys rally around me at times when I'm feeling down. Like I always wear my heart on my sleeve. Like whatever I'm feeling, like I'm not afraid to show emotion. And I think that that's sad that a lot of men today are not allowed to show emotion. But I don't really care about that. And if people just want to unsubscribe because, hey, this guy talks about how he's lonely and it's not always positive vibes going through the camera, then so be it. Like, this is my outlet. This is my channel to talk about my whole journey, my life, how I'm feeling. And a lot of that is the feeling of loneliness. A lot of that is feeling worthless. I do feel worthless because I've never been in a real relationship before. Nobody's ever told me that they loved me in any kind of way, or other than like my mom or my nieces or something. Like, of course they tell me they love me, but I'm talking about outside of that, like a friendly or even a romantically. I've never been told, hey, I love you. Like, that hurts. Like, that hurts a lot. And so, once you've been going so many years and just nobody is giving you that kind of attention, telling you that they love you, um, people aren't willing to see beyond my weight and see my character and stuff like that. Well, part of that drives me to continue. Like, I had something like that happen over the weekend, and a situation where I just need to be I need to grow from that and just keep pushing forward and know that there will be a day. But when those things happen, like, it makes you feel like really bad and worthless and like, oh man, nobody's ever gonna love me because I've hit this age and I've never even been in a relationship before, right? So I don't know. It's just really, really, really tough to deal with that and overcome it, because when you get down that far, you're like, you just want to sabotage yourself. And then when you do, like what she's talking about, she would eat to help herself feel comforted and to, pump up her emotions, get that hit of dopamine or whatever. And then she'd feel really, really guilty about it and purge.
In year 11, which is when I was 16, that's when I started to starve myself. I would go to school with my lunches that mum had packed and I would throw it in the rubbish bin. Or if I was starving myself at home, I would feed the food to my dog and say that I had eaten it. Straight away, that's when my binging started again and I started to regain.
That must have been interesting for the family. It's like, wow, she's not eating food, but the dog's getting bigger. I wonder why that is. I'm not making light of her situation, but yeah, she's eating a 50 pack of McNuggets there. I love chicken nuggets, but anytime I've had chicken nuggets after surgery, I've had like 3 of them, and I was stuffed.
All the weight that I'd lost and then would get further up on the scales than before.
This is me.
I went through a roller coaster with losing weight and gaining weight.
I'm fighting my brain. I just want to binge. I'm so overweight that no one understands.
We always thought that she had a relationship with food that wasn't quite right. So if we ever brought it up, it was just a taboo subject. You just didn't do it.
I think I just felt desperate. As a mother, you're as happy as your saddest child, and I just didn't know what to do with the situation, watching her just starting to fall apart.
I'm 27 this year and I've wasted so many years.
I feel like that way too. Like, that's part of my loneliness and feeling frustrated and worthlessness and all that stuff. Is I have wasted. I've wasted my best years, my 20s and my 30s, stuck in my body, stuck inside, feeling bad for myself, overcoming the trauma that I went through as a kid, the trauma that I went through even into my early 20s, and I've lost decades because of what other people did to me and what I've done to myself. I'm not like putting my whole weight problem on them, but yeah, eating was the only way I was able to cope with a lot of that. And so now I'm coping with it in different ways. I'm coping with the emotions in different ways. So the one thing I didn't do, and I'm proud of myself over the weekend when I was feeling that down and worthlessness again, is I didn't run to food, right? I talked to a good friend, and you're probably watching. Thank you for helping me out last night. But yeah, it's just learning how to cope with it in new ways and not running to food, which I was victorious in. And today, it's Monday. It's a whole new day. I'm feeling enthusiastic. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling glad to be here. And I'm going to keep pushing forward. And nothing's going to stop me until I take my last breath.
I let my eating disorder and everything else take over, and I cared too much about what people thought of me.
People think, oh, why don't you just stop? Why don't you eat healthier? It's not as simple as that, because it had that control over me. My brain would constantly be like, go on, just do it. Have a binge, do it. You can do it, it's fine. Start again tomorrow.
And I've opened and closed the fridge so many times. I literally just want to eat. No one understands how hard this is. Like, I can't even deal. Like, I just want to go and eat something.
I've never been able to express myself with fashion because there's not much clothing range for people that are a lot larger. This is a 3XL. At my heaviest weight, I felt disgusted in myself. I was ashamed. I hid away from the world. Only my closest friends and my parents were allowed to see me. I wasn't living, I was just existing, and it got really, really dark.
Can literally.
Yeah, that's what it's like when you're at your biggest. And that's why I often say you can't be that obese and be happy, because you're not living your life. You're existing. You're watching everybody else live around you. You're sitting here, it's summertime, and I remember feeling this last summer, and that's what it helped drive me to start my journey and to lose the weight that I did. I'm like, wow, I got the windows open. And you can hear the kids outside playing, and there's people walking their dog, and there's barbecues, and there's all kinds of fun, and there's good stuff going on at the church. They're having bonfires and the big fireworks show that they have every year, and all this good fun stuff is happening. You know, my sister's having bonfires and people over and birthday parties for the girls, and I'm stuck in my bed. And life moves on, it continues, and everybody's celebrating and enjoying their summer, and I'm stuck in my bed, not able to get up, not able to do anything. And yeah, it's just a very, very lonely, miserable existence. You are just existing there, and you can tell yourself that you're happy all you want to. Like, I'm generally a happy person. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I feel very blessed. I love my life, which is weird to say. I mean, there's parts of my life that I don't love, but I love living. I love existing. I love seeing a blue sky and feeling the warm sun on my face. And, you know, just I love my friends and serving in the church and just doing what I do. Like, I love being alive. But deep down, there's just this miserable feeling and feeling like you're just existing. You're just there, and you're not really living your life. And so I really feel like this is going to be the first summer in decades that I'm going to enjoy my summer. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do stuff. I'm going to play with the girls. I'm going to go do things. I'm going to spend some time with my friend Steve. We're going to go on the boat and go fishing. Like, I'm going to do stuff this summer. I'm not going to let another summer go by without me experiencing it. And who knows, maybe along that journey, I might meet someone who is interested in me. Maybe I already know somebody who's interested in me, but they haven't told me yet. And I don't know, like, that's all up to God. I'm putting it in his hands. I know not all of you believe, but I do. And I think this is going to be a different summer than there's ever been. So, you know, you got to get that hope in yourself. And I know I'm talking about myself a lot in this, but I'm hoping that it inspires you. It's Motivational Monday, right? Like, if you feel that way, if you're someone and you're sitting there and you feel depressed and you feel like you have no hope, like, there is hope. But you have to make the changes. You have to get up out of bed and say, you know what, I'm not going to let this take me down anymore. I'm not going to lose another year of my life stuck in this freaking bed. You're going to have to get up and do it and make the changes that you need to make, because nobody's going to come along and save you. Nobody's going to do the work for you. You're going to have to make that first step, then the second step, then the third step, and just keep moving and don't stop. And use all that pent-up frustration and anger and feeling worthlessness and all that stuff, and let it drive you, not negatively, but let it drive you positively into the future.
I've only just fit the seatbelt.
I got to the point where I couldn't even walk up my path without losing my breath.
This is just walking up my path, and like my legs are already tired and I'm out of breath, and
I knew that the only way I was going to be able to lose weight was the gastric sleeve surgery, because I was just going to eat myself to death. I got the phone call and I'm getting my surgery in 5 days. I wore this on the day that I had my surgery. At the time they seemed small, but now they are absolutely massive. I was taken into the room. I remember crying because I'd never had such a big surgery before, so it was all the unknown. I had complication after complication.
I woke up in recovery in a lot of pain. It's not my stomach, it's like the gas.
I was in and out of hospital for 3 months.
Yeah, that's one of the most painful things about the surgery is you might, oh wow, they just took 90% of my stomach and my stomach's can be in pain. But that's not really the first thing you feel. Like when they do the surgery, they fill you full of gas, your whole abdomen, so that they can have more room to get in there and do what they need to do. And so when you wake up, like that's the first thing you feel that gas pain. It's in your whole abdomen. It's wherever they pump the gas. A lot of it does get out, but it can take a few days for that gas to leave. I'm not saying the other stuff didn't hurt. The incisions definitely hurt. But I didn't really feel pain in my stomach. Like I don't know if it's because there weren't nerves there or what. I know there's probably nerves in the stomach because we've all had stomach pain and gas pain and stuff like that. But I didn't really feel pain in my stomach. It was mostly the incisions. It was mostly when I got up. Um, and I explained before that most of my incisions are on my upper abdomen here. And so whenever I would stand up, like all my weight would pull down on my belly and it would just put all kinds of pain and pressure on my incisions. And so that's most of the pain that I felt.
I ended up having to have 2 more surgeries where they had to untwist my new stomach. And after the second surgery,
That's something that can happen too, is when they use titanium staples, and those are staples that are going to be in me for the rest of my life. But sometimes the stomach can like flip up on itself or twist or stuff like that. And they're going to have to go back in there and untwist it. Thankfully, I haven't experienced that yet. Hopefully, I won't experience it at all. So it doesn't always happen. I'm not saying that that's something you should look forward to, but it's just one of the possible complications is, you're used to having a big stomach and now it's just like a little tube. And so it can cause some problems.
I started to go uphill. A couple of months later, I remember just sitting in the bath and it kind of hit me what I'd been through, and I was like, oh my god, like that's crazy. But also in a way I am grateful for everything that did happen. I would 100% go through all of that again to get to where I am. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but it has gotten me to where I am now. I never used to like exercise. My parents would have to literally force me to do any form of exercise, and now I absolutely love running. Losing all the weight and not having that heaviness on my body, I just feel free and fit and healthy, which just obviously impacts your whole being, your mental and physical being.
That's something that I'm excited to get into next is I haven't really gotten into too much exercise. I've been sharing that with you guys. I do have some new weights that my friend brought over that he had. And so I'm going to start using those, and I need to get on the bike more, and I need to go for walks now that it's nice out. So I need to get into loving exercise, not just it being the bane of my existence because I'm in so much pain. I'm still pretty big. Like I need to switch that over and make it part of my new routine where I'm doing it every single day and I love to get up and do it instead of just dreading it because like, oh, I know it's going to hurt really bad. So I don't know. I still been kind of like, all right, I need to lose a little more weight, a little more weight, a little more weight, like get to a place where it's more comfortable doing certain exercises and not so much pressure on my joints. And one of those things might be looking for a place to swim and go for walks and stuff like that. Build those muscles back up, and it'll be more comfortable.
At my heaviest, I weighed 375 pounds, and I now weigh 180 pounds. It's like a free feeling, being able to run and have that energy and be able to move my body where I couldn't used to do that. Great, now time to cool down at the beach. I think I'm always going to struggle with how I see myself. My brain, I'm constantly telling myself like I've lost the weight, but I still think I'm as huge as I used to be. And I have to constantly check either my pictures or in the mirror.
That's another complication. Like when you lose the weight, you might still feel worthless. you might still feel like you're at your biggest. You don't really, mentally, you still feel all those years of depression and all that, and feeling like you're still your biggest. I still feel that way. It's great when people tell me, "Oh, Tony, you look like you lost a lot of weight. You're doing great," all that stuff. But I don't always feel it in myself. So that's something that I need to improve upon as well. My confidence, I need to get it up. And that confidence can make me feel better and make me want to keep going, right? But when you get down on yourself, you just want to binge. You just want to, feel your feelings and do all that stuff. So um, that's part of the journey. Like, you're gonna have to work on that. You're gonna have to work on your confidence and learning not to run to food when you feel bad and stuff like that.
To tell myself, no, you have lost weight.
It blows my mind how far I've come.
Not only did I gain my life back, but I gained my self-love and self-worth back.
You would never have caught me dead in a bikini. So now, being able to be in a bikini at the beach and not have that overwhelming feeling of people staring at you and judging you for your size is amazing.
Did they cut her open to do her surgery? Well, I feel blessed now because I only have a few incisions. They didn't cut me open like that. Oof.
How are you proud of Clarabelle?
Amazingly, she's got a new life, she's happy, she's got a good relationship with food, she knows her self-worth. I think that's a really big thing because she had no self-worth before.
Claire's gonna win. Claire's gonna win against binge eating.
To us, this whole other chapter is going to be consigned to the past. It's incredible for us to really get our old Claire back, which is really cool.
I am now able to live a normal life. My mental health is improved so much. I've become so strong in myself and know what I do deserve, and also know that I am not just my body.
I thought that I would do a video to my future self. If you feel like you have down days where you're still fighting your brain, please get help. Don't stay quiet. This video is for you, to see how hard it was for you when you were this overweight, to see how far you've come.
I just feel like everything seems brighter, and being able to see my parents happy as well, with me now being back to their happy daughter that they always want to see. I'm not in my room hiding away. I'm able to go and live a life with them.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of her and her journey and the results that she has now, losing half of her body weight. That's just incredible. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this Motivational Monday. Again, next week I'm going to try to do a day in my life, and part of it's going to be showing the workout video that I did many months ago and comparing it. I'm going to wear the same shirt and everything else, and so you can see how much bigger it looks on me. And you can just kind of compare and contrast what I look like. I might even still show that video, that photo of me at my biggest, and so you guys can see the overall result of what I look like now so far. But so look forward to that next weekend. This Wednesday, me and Kayla Shea are going to do Big Talks with Big T at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to go live, so look forward to that as well. But other than that, I wish you guys had a great Monday. I love you all. God bless you.